Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for the new moon chart. I'm going to have to use the tablet. I'm just not able to get in there and get set up for the other view. I'm set up to do readings in this room, so I know I'm a little late, and I'm going to be late with those monthly readings if you're waiting on those, but I will get them up by the 1st. Yeah, I've just had some issues going on, but I like doing these. These are my favorite thing to do because it's more, you know, it's more just tuning into the universe and trying to compartmentalize like the 12 monthly sign thing. But let's get into it. So this is the new moon at May 5th, or excuse me, May 25th, 2017. If it was May 5th, we really missed the boat on that one, huh, Vic? No, it's May 25th at 3:45 p.m. Eastern Time Zone. And it's a new moon. I'm going to try not to move the thing around because that's people said they didn't like me zooming in and stuff. But it's a new moon in Gemini here at 4 degrees of Gemini. And it's opposed Lilith and Sag, and it's conjunct Ceres. What first thing I was kind of noticing, and it's sextiling Vesta. So it's all these goddess energies again, the different female icons. And then the other female icons in the chart, Venus and Pallas Athena, are together over here. Excuse me, so there seem to be some kind of vibe going on there. But let's see, Gemini, you know, 3rd house, Mercury. It's talking, communicating, short distance travel, your siblings, your neighborhood, messages, texting, emails, text, all that kind of stuff. It's your mental monkey mind, you know, it's your mind, your speech, where this is your higher mind and your spiritual, you know, your higher ideals and everything. This is your everyday kind of stuff. So we've got Sun, Moon, Ceres, and Mars there. And Mars is opposed Saturn. There's a T-square with Chiron. That's really what's going on here. But there's a lot of energy in Gemini still. Luckily, though, that Mercury is separated from Uranus, and I do feel like that's really eased up a little bit. And if you watched the last video, I was talking about that nervous energy and everything. It may have just been me and stuff that I was, you know, there was a lot of stuff that went down, a lot of deaths for me with that Scorpio full moon, which is something I didn't even think of. And then, of course, you know, Chris Cornell died. That was a big shocker, too. And it's just like, sometimes I get nervous energy when stuff like this is going to happen, you know. If you watched, I did a video on it about the dead, and I could always perceive it when I was a little kid even. I get real, like, fear, I get like fear, or I feel like death's coming. I always feel like it's me, that I'm gonna die. But so far I'm still kicking, so and it's always, you know, what happens is other people end up dying. But I get this weird sensation ever since I was a kid. This happened, and it fools me every time, you know. Well, one of the times it will be death coming on knocking on my door, coming for me, but you know, it fools me every time. I internalize it somehow. I don't know, but we're talking about this chart. But anyways, that's when that Mercury and stuff was there, and that has kind of moved on here. And I've definitely, even though we've got this intense stuff in Gemini, this has helped. I feel like this has definitely helped me. And I know that it wasn't only me, because a lot of people in the comments were saying how they felt it too, you know. But I think this is going to help. If you were experiencing that, like this tension, anxiety, you know, fear, low-level fear energy kind of vibing around, this should help some. It has helped me. I can definitely tell that it's helped me. You know, Taurus always helps you ground and everything. But this is Mercury's ruler, and it's all together here. And this Mars, you know, that's kind of a similar energy, because it was all in Aries, which Mars is the ruler. There was that mutual reception. So there's a similarity, and the Mars is definitely activated now, but it's activated in a different way. You know, it's not activated by Uranus, okay? Uranus affects your nervous system. It's, you know, it's just electric, it's shaky, it's, you know, it's very different. Oh, I didn't realize you guys couldn't. I'm doing half the reading and didn't look up and didn't realize you couldn't see the chart. Well, I'm not starting over, so hopefully we can get through it still. Sorry about that. I don't know how that happened. But anyways, well, I was talking about this energy over here, and this here is the Mercury, and here's the actual Mercury, and then the Gemini stuff. but it's not affected by Uranus. It's actually being really grounded with Saturn here. You know, Saturn on the galactic center, and then this square to Chiron. There's this big mutable T-square. Especially if any of you have the other mutable is Virgo. So if you have something at the high degrees of Virgo over here, you know, that's going to really cement things into place. But it's affecting everyone, and that Chiron getting up there. It's not. I don't think Chiron's changing signs for a while. I think it's like next year, but it's at that end degree. It's at 28 something, 40, 17. You know, so you know that 29 Pisces. That is the most karmic degree of the entire zodiac, and it's an orb. You know, it's ending. This is why I run this flat wheel, for instance. You know, because the whole zodiac starts at 0 Aries. Okay, and then we go around the wheel. And these are karmic cycles, and we learn the signs of these different zodiac signs, like Uranus is learning, you know, expressing through Aries, and this is how we do it on our soul journey and everything too. But when you get over here at 28, 29 Pisces, that's the end of the line, brother. This is the end of the line. This is the end, the last, one more degree, and it's almost there. 29 Pisces is the last degree of the entire zodiac. That's why whenever somebody has a placement there, right away you know that they're an old soul. And secondly, that they're completing a karmic cycle. So we as a collective are completing a karmic cycle of healing our wounds with Chiron, right? And it's squaring off with Saturn and Mars. Excuse me, I need a drink of water, which is both very male-oriented energy. You know, Saturn is the father, the parental control, you know, the authoritarian. I would say that, you know, Saturn is, even though we're moving from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, Saturn is, to me, the most representative energy of the patriarchy. You know, that's the patriarchy right there, Saturn. You know, it's the father, the boss, and it's opposing Mars, which is obviously a male energy too. It's Aries, ruled by Aries. They've got a war. You know, it's aggression, war. It's Mars is, you know, women are from Venus, men are from Mars. It's on a very basic level. You know, Venus is the feminine, Mars is the masculine. So there's this, you know, male energy. And they're squaring off with each other, they're opposing each other. They're maybe going to war with each other. And then you take into account the planet with the sign that they're in. It's the mind, where the new moon is, the Gemini, the monkey mind, how I can rationalize it, how I can reason it. I have to have it figured out, or it cannot be. Or and then when you get into Sag, that's more philosophical. Well, can it be? It's still mental, you know. It's like, well, maybe it can be. It, you know, it allows you to think beyond its expansion. You know, it's Jupiter's expansion. It allows you to get past this every day. Well, I got to go pick up the kids from soccer, and I got to hit the grocery store, and I got to do this and that, and blah blah blah. I got to take the dog to the vet, and blah 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 blah. And you know, this is not really thinking much outside of your day-to-day routine and the part of your brain that you need to function and engage in this world, right? And then you get into the Sag, and it's still mentally, like I said, but it's like pondering. It's wanting to know more. It's wanting to go beyond this. It's the study of philosophy, religion, of higher knowledge, of education. So it's wanting to go to the next level, wanting to explore that, but still be, especially within Saturn involved, still be in this 3D reality. And then the Chiron and Pisces comes along. It's like, it blows everything out of the water, literally. You know, it's in Pisces, it's in a water sign, and it just blows it all out of the water. It doesn't have to make sense in your monkey mind. It does. You don't have to have a theory that, you know, the theory that you're going to mentally prove to. These don't have to be in checks and balances. Pisces water doesn't give a shit about any of this, you know. It's going on pure vibe, pure spirit, pure feeling, pure deep. It's deep. It's deep, and it can be dark. I heard deep and dark, and it can be dark, you know. And it's ruled by Neptune, the god of the sea. Because it's Chiron, and I talked about what was Saturn, this karmic action. This is what we have here. I talk about this a lot, but some of you may have never heard it, but you know, this Chiron in Pisces is about our past, healing our past in our own lives and as a collective and as human beings, and it's the last gasp of the age of Pisces, of the martyr and the patriarchy and aggression and power and all that, and then we'll ascend into the you know, the age of Aquarius, which is a different vibe altogether. Again, too, okay, so we got karmic action. And then we've got the Grand Trine of Fire with Saturn too. We've got karmic, the node, karmic, Uranus, ascension, right? Going past it. So there's this battle going on too. There's definitely, and this is the future. Uranus is the future. There's this battle going on. Is it sliding over again? How am I doing that? Maybe the camera might be kind of shifting. Maybe that's what's happening. Because I only look up every so often. I'm kind of here. But anyways, you know, the future. We've got the internet and the future, the new things, and we want to be Aquarian-like, even though the South Node's in Aquarius, but we wanted to balance it and bring it into the future. And then we've got the patriarchy that doesn't want to let go, doesn't want to let go of that grip. It's really, I feel like it's probably pretty fear-based, you know. I think in a lot of situations it's very fear-based, you know. It's like if I let go and let go of power, then I'm done. You know, I'll be the, instead of me being the oppressor, I'll be one of the peon little oppressed, one of the masses, one of the nobodies, right? And I'll lose my status and my power and stuff like that. And that's not what it's about. You know, that's not what it's about at all. The age of Aquarius is for everybody, you know. And just think, by trying to shut people out, what you're potentially shutting out, you know. What if one of the people that you're trying to hold down and suppress, you know, has, you know, the cure for cancer, although some people would say that's already invented, but you know what I mean, has some kind of great Uranian, Aquarian thing to share with the world to help humanity. You know, whatever. It could just be a million different things. And instead, you want to fight over power and make sure that you're suppressing somebody. Just take, for instance, I was just talking about this with a couple different people. This, you know, some white males have a big problem with, is a lot of the people that have problems with this power thing, and they'll support crazy ass things just because, yeah, the white male has to have the power kind of thing. Well, if you allow others to take the baton for a while, it doesn't mean that there'll never be another white male leader. I'm sure there's going to be many white male leaders again. It doesn't mean that the white male is, you know, you're done, son, swash, you're done. No. You know, it would be the most qualified whoever, you know. If you were sick and you had to have a surgery, wouldn't you want like the best, would you say I have to have a white male doctor? Wouldn't you want the best surgeon and the best medical technology to try to save you and help you? Maybe it might end up being a white male, right? But why, you know, by trying to exclude potential, you know, it's just crazy. I don't know. And that's the lesson of the South Node Aquarius. That's part of that lesson too. That's something that we've got to really come to terms with and understand and get, you know, that the more ideas in the pot, the more different types of people working on to solve issues and problems, the more solutions that can happen, the more people that can be helped, and it'll be good for all. You know, that's the message of the Aquarian age. It's not about it's about equality for all. This just came and I'm just going to spit it out. I don't care. I think this could have to do with like remembering our galactic, you know, really, that's coming out a lot. You know, it's becoming more and more popular. And talk about, you know, not wanting to, you know, being in the closet about, well, people with their sexuality, or me with like being a psychic, you know, people have been in the closet about this stuff too, big time, you know, and that's all coming out. And if we want to embrace that, we'll realize that this dumb shit you're fighting over is nothing, you know. It's that divide and conquer. I talked about that like crazy, but it's like, you know, keep them fighting amongst themselves, and they're never going to wake up and expand beyond fighting over oil or land or whatever the hell people fight over, you know. So that's what this struggle here, you know. And the most of the energy is down here in this mindset, you know. It's down here in this mindset of you can't see beyond your front door or beyond your, you know, it's having difficulty getting past that and being real keeping ourselves busy, keeping ourselves distracted. By the way, it is turning, huh? It is the camera. Okay, I gotta be sorry, this is not turning out to be the best video as far as a as far as the actual videotape part. I'll just have to remember to keep kind of looking up and checking. I know what I can do here. I'm sorry about this. We're gonna fix it. I know the what's going on. The thing is messed up. But I think I just fixed it. Okay, this should hold. Hopefully this will hold. Maybe I need to zoom in into the hair more, right? Yeah, hair more. Slide it down, and I'll check in a couple seconds, make sure it shouldn't move anymore. Sorry about that. Yeah, but we can get caught up in this. This is the first step out of it, though. You know, I don't think that many people can jump from here to here, from mental mind to complete dissolution of just in the, you know, practically in spirit. And it's hard to be in this vibe too and really maintain a life. You know, you need that energy. That's why the opposite of the Pisces is the Virgo, because the Virgo will make sure everything's, you know, straight and right, and bills are paid and all that. But this is all pointing to ascension to me. You know, it just really is on a collective, and all the high degrees: 25, 28, 28, 26, 23, 28. So we're all finishing these cycles. And the other thing is when these outer planets, the inner planets are our personal, they're called our personal planets, and they do have to do, you know, they represent these first houses here, and this has to do with our everyday life, our function in the earth plane, and getting around and doing stuff and keeping things organized and whatnot. But then you get into these higher signs. Well, Saturn is, I would consider Saturn an outer planet. Neptune, well, Pisces energy, Chiron, is in Neptune, in Pisces, outer reaches. I was going to say outer limits. Uranus. Uranus is that too, the nodes, you know. So these are outer planets. So these outer planets, as they move, you know, they affect the collective. They affect the individual too, but they also affect the collective big time. And also, as your natal outer planets are very much generational, you know, so there's that element of earthly expression and stuff going on too. I'm getting a little deep. Let's get back to let's get back in the Gemini and talk a little bit about, because I didn't mention here that we do have Venus and Pallas conjunct in Aries. Well, you know, a lot of attention towards Venus energy, you know. Pallas is a doer, a go-getter. Aries is a doer, a go-getter. It's feminine energy. Great time to beautify your house, your yard, yourself. Work on projects, creative projects. Venus, you know, you really use that Venus energy, and of course it's love too. Somebody you could fall head on in love with somebody, you know. Love at first sight. When this kind of Aries energy, for sure. Love at first sight. It's opposing Jupiter. That's at the best thing, you know. And Jupiter, you might, in Libra, you might, well, could be beauty. Great beauty could come out of this. Let's stay on the positive for a minute. You know, the great beauty could come out of this, because that is, Jupiter is the ruler. I mean, Libra is ruled by Venus. and Jupiter expands and brings more light to, and you know, makes it bigger. So creative expression could be really right on. You know, beautiful stuff could be happening through art, music, all forms of creativity. And then, you know, we could fall in love. You know, you could fall in love with somebody that could benefit you greatly, even though it's an opposition. You know, I would say that. You know, like say if this were your natal chart, you had Jupiter in the 7th, and say, well, you could marry well, as they used to say, you know. But nowadays you don't necessarily need somebody to pay your way in life, so it's not about that, but it could be, there's lots of ways that you could marry well, or partner well, you know. Somebody that really truly loves you, cares about you, you know. There's other ways of abundance in relationships other than somebody just having a lot of money to give you material things, you know. They could dote on you, they could be there for you, you know. There's so many other ways that that could be expressed. And let's see, it's conjunct Jupiter conjunct the ascendant. That is not true. Well, this ascendant must be the actual ascendant for this time slot. Okay. But I was looking here, what is it doing? It's sextiling Lilith. It's sextiling, it's trining Ceres, you know. So there's a strong, here's what it is. You know, these are like big, you know, things that are going on in the world and going on in society and stuff like that. And these are just like the inner planets, Venus, you know. These are things that are going on in our lives, our everyday lives. These are Aries and Gemini. This is grassroots stuff too, you know. So, and it doesn't have to be through, if you want change in the world, it doesn't necessarily have to be through fighting and you know, might makes right, and protesting and whatnot like that. Raise the level of love, raise the level of beauty, raise the level of, you know, raise the vibes. I know it's a little out there for some people, but that's what it is. Raise the vibes. The day of the martyr is done here, man. This Chiron and Pisces, that's done. And I've heard other people say this, not necessarily about in astrology or forecasts, but I think it's true, that this is why this is bubbling up so much, because it's the last gasps of the patriarchal society. But that, you know, you're not gonna, you know, nobody wants to throw white males away. White males have really good stuff to contribute to the world. But by trying to silence other people, that's just what I keep getting, how they try to silence and suppress. And not only in, you know, power struggles, but just like with Uranian technology and things that want to come forth, things that are wanting to be born, new technologies. You know, they've had electric cars since when, like the 70s or something? Or even like those old cars used to be with the wind-up cranks, weren't those electric, you know? But they've had modern day electric cars since the 70s, but because of power and oil, those kind of things are blocked, you know. And some would say that medical technology is blocked too, you know, that medical advancements have been blocked. And I think that may be true as well, you know. But instead of trying to do this hold, you know, we got to hold on things. We got to hold everybody. Well, everybody's in, like you're trying to corral them into this little space, right? But everybody's in here getting restless and getting antsy, and, you know, I mean, with the Mars opposed Saturn, some shit could go down, man. It could be very explosive. It really, really could. But hopefully it's not gonna be, because this feminine energy is also very present. You know, it's very, very present, and it's, you know, we've got, like I said, the Ceres is the goddess of the grain, Vesta, the goddess of the hearth, Venus, the goddess of love, Pallas, the goddess of invention, or Pallas Athena, the warrior goddess, Lilith, the powerful woman, the shrewd woman. So they're all in these they're all in here too. Well, these are all like at 7, you know, they're all at 10, you know, 10, 11, 7, so they're all kind of in here together. And then Venus is joined up over here with the Palace. It's like, here we come, girls. Oh my gosh, alright, getting too silly. Maybe it's time to wrap it up. Oh, it is moving, and this thing is moving, so we're gonna wrap it up. Sorry about the tablet and all the stuff, but I really like to do these readings, and I did want to get them out. So it's a new moon in Gemini. Major concentration of your monkey mind, major concentration of thoughts and reality. Try to move beyond it. Try to get past it. Try to... We get this. This is strong stuff here. This is heavy duty, strong stuff with the Palace. I mean the Chiron and Pisces rather. This is some heavy duty stuff happening over here. This is a karmic clearing for sure. I think I've mentioned that before, but it really, really is. And you don't always have to understand it in your mental mind. Shouldn't be a criteria or have to be. You know, people will discount this stuff. They'll get spiritual insights. They'll get downloads. They'll get, and then they'll go back to this. Oh, well, shit, jeez, snap out of it. Jeez, oh man, what are you nuts? Get in reality, dude. Come on, snap out of it. Get off your cloud. You know, I got shit to do today, man. You know, I gotta get this stuff accomplished. So, I mean, there's a tendency towards that. And I almost want to say, you know, we could miss it. I think we're not going to miss it as a collective, but you might miss it. You know, if this stuff rises up, you got to transmute it. You got to let it come through. You got to get rid of it, because it's not good to suppress it, and it's not good to deny. There's more to this world than what's right in front of our faces here. And that's what this Pisces energy is trying to show us here. But this energy is wanting us to stay, you know, and we're getting barrage, you know, it's just a barrage. Well, this happened, bam, bam. Oh, no, don't go here. Pay attention. Read the newspaper. Listen, talk. You know, stay here. I want to make sure, because the downside of this monkey mind, that's where that fear is. That's where our fear is. That's where we hold our fear. That's how we do our fear. Comes through the monkey mind. Doesn't come through there. Comes through the monkey mind. Alright, I'm kind of all over. Sorry to everybody, but I do want to get this out. I'm going to, before the camera tilts again, I'm going to have to really check out what's going on with that thing, tighten it up or something. But anyways, here's that chart. Again, I don't know when I'm going to get those other readings done. I'm not starting them today, so I haven't even started them, if I'm honest. But I'll try to get them out by the 1st of the month. And I do have the Lots of Love reading. If you're interested in that, go over to Vimeo and check that out. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate all of you. I love hearing your comments and your take on everything. You know, get the discussions going. And remember, you are Love and Beauty Incarnate. Have a great new moon on May 25th in Gemini. And I'll speak to you soon.